One thing I can say for sure, I love my school. Another thing, I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to become a bit more educated in the topic of the Christian faith and Jesus. I really am. It has broken some of the prejudices I had about Christians, and that's really a great thing because education should be spread and information should be spread. But nowadays, Bible classes are not the way they were 2 years ago. Back then, the other religions' ways were mentioned too and spoken about with the proper amount of respect. We had polite and interesting discussions all the time, and sometimes my own opinion was changed a bit too, since I saw a hint of a reasonable point now and then. The Bible was something that everybody could interpret in a way that made sense. Since last year, we've been taught about the absolute truth and about the literal 100% verity of every word, right there, black on white, with no space of any sign of thinking for yourself. This is not a school only for Christian kids. The diversity in faith and the presence of free debate is the point of it all. Plus, I'm studying there for several whole other reasons. So in front of me, there are girls who love the teacher's style of presentation, as he precisely describes the same way they feel for Jesus themselves, and they are grateful for the superior's decisions to have him teach us another year. They are grateful for having a God who loves them and shows them the right way by illuminating the path. Behind the back desk, there's a little pagan witch in leggings with Leviathan's crosses on them, and an alien sex fiend shirt. Yes, that's me. Next to me, there are three people with a similar opinion on this topic and on this twisted, overly submissive behavior called Christianity. We're a lovely alliance when it comes to Bible classes. And yet, none of us is truly evil. None of us would ever participate substantially in the perverted orgy of greed and killing and chaos we are told there would be if nobody was a Christian. For doesn't the beauty of the world lie in the faith in the good things? The teacher says, I hate religion, don't be religious. Have faith and love God. I agree. There's a huge difference many people don't mention. I'm truly happy for the fact that he speaks about the difference between religion and faith. Because, to be honest, that's what LaVey doesn't mention, obviously for the reason of his own propaganda, which though may be intelligent and constructive is still too right-wing sometimes, and it is for that reason that I do not consider myself a Satanist, although I wear Satanist symbols to just present the fact that I agree with the with the fundamental thought and the fundamental idea, which is individuality and freedom from a god. Yeah, so this is the thing. Because if this man in front of the board understands that faith is nothing but a deeply personal matter and it is the foundation of his creed, why? Why the passion for trying so hard to show us the right form of faith? Why don't we just read a story from the Bible and share our opinions like we did for the first 2 years in high school? Somebody, cannot possibly remember who and what about, raised their hand. One reaction was followed by another, and there we were again, everyone defending their position. When the bell rang, the four of us stayed to finish making our point. I must admit I was the one who went on, since there still were facts to explain. I had something to say. I couldn't just let it go, and the teacher knew it, and he stayed there and listened. And so did the three other people, and some other people who were interested in hearing what I would say. And those were the Christian people. So really glad they stayed and listened to my opinion. Although it was something they didn't want to hear, but they are used to it. Like, I am me, everybody knows it, and they just say that I am a true blessing for the world, for being myself and for being who I am. And maybe that's a bit hypocritical, cause, cause our dear teacher wants to pray so hard for me. Yeah, pray hard for me to find Jesus. So together, as one man, we left the teacher with his eyes flitting around the room, his hands fidgeting around with a pen for a while, and then he went on with the classical universal answers he always uses. That's proof of his strong belief, proof that his love for God shall never change. Yes. And the point is, if his belief shall never change, why the fuck should mine?